My story today, The Crowded House. A life lesson in gratitude. Once, there was a simple man named Tom who lived with his wife, Pamela, and their little son, Johnny, in a small house. The house had only one room, a small kitchen, and a tiny yard. Even though it was safe and warm, Tom was never happy. He always complained, saying,
"This house is too small. There is no space for us. If we had a bigger house, we would be happy."
His wife always told him to be thankful, but he thought life was too hard. One day, he decided to visit Peter, the wise man of the village. Peter was known for his wisdom and good advice. Tom sat in front of him and said,
"Peter, my house is too small. I feel uncomfortable. What should I do?"
Peter smiled and said,
If you want your house to feel bigger, take one of your 4 sheep and bring it inside your house.
Tom was surprised, but he thought Peter had a reason. So he went home and bought 1 sheep inside. At first, it didn't seem bad, but after a few days, the sheep made a mess. The sheep took up space and caused trouble inside the house. Both Tom and his wife started complaining even more. After a week, Tom went back to Peter and said,
"Things are worse now. My house is even more crowded."
Peter laughed and said,
Good. Now, take another sheep inside.
Tom didn't understand, but he didn't argue. He took another sheep inside, and the house became even more crowded. There was barely any space to sit, and the sheep made noise and smelled bad. A week later, Tom returned to Peter and said,
"This is terrible. We can't live like this anymore."
Peter calmly said,
Now, take a 3rd sheep and bring it inside.
Tom's eyes widened in shock, but he obeyed. Now the house was so full that moving around was difficult. Pamela was very upset, and their son couldn't play freely anymore. A week later, Tom went back again and begged.
"Please, my house is a disaster. My family is miserable."
But Peter, so calm, said,
Take the 4th sheep inside.
Tom wanted to refuse, but he thought he had no choice. So he bought the 4th sheep inside, and now the house was unbearable. There was no space, no peace, and no comfort. After another week, Tom ran to Peter and shouted,
"We can't take it anymore. Our house is too crowded."
Peter smiled and said,
Now, start removing the sheep. Take out 1 sheep each week.
Tom felt relieved and started doing as he told. After 1 week, he took out the 1st sheep, and the house felt a little better. Next week, he removed the 2nd sheep, and there was more space. In the 3rd week, the 3rd sheep left, and his wife started smiling again. Finally, after the 4th week, the last sheep was gone. That night, Tom sat in his house and looked around. He took a deep breath and smiled. The house felt so big and comfortable. The next morning, he went to Peter and said,
"Peter, I don't know how, but my house now feels so big and nice."
Peter laughed and said,
But your house didn't change. It's the same as before. The only difference is that you got used to being comfortable. You didn't realize how lucky you were before. You only understood the value of your home when you experienced something worse.
At that moment, Tom understood the great lesson. He went home thankful for what he had and never complained again. Moral of the story: sometimes we complain because we don't see how lucky we are. When life gets hard, we realize the value of what we had before. We should always be grateful for what we have before we lose it. The end. Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more fun stories and surprises.